Hello YouTube, this is Team Oversight and we're here with a member of Team Oversight, Dylan. He played Satellarknights at the Garden City Regional in Michigan. He was just short of getting his top of the deck sadly, but here, without further ado, here we go with the deck profile.
So I wanted to play Stellars and go back to 2014 when Necros were a thing. Everyone said, "Oh, if you're playing Stellars, you need Demise. You need Demise." I don't like Demise. I don't like not being able to special summon, and I don't like having to discard my hand at the end phase. It's more so that I don't like being able to special summon. I think this deck needs to special summon and be able to special summon. A lot of people back in the day used to play Pot of Duality, and for a first turn they said it was really good first turn, and it kind of was, and I can kind of see that. But I like being able to special summon, and I think Pot of Duality is kind of dead after turn one. So Demise is kind of like the same to me. And I think it's kind of dirty just to play. Like, I like traps, but I don't like floodgates, if that makes sense almost. But without further ado, here's the deck. 3 to Neb. It's the best card in the deck. You definitely want to see it going out first. You want to search. You want to get your engine going, especially without Demise, like I said. 3 Altair. It's standard ratio. Altair and Deneb are just a classic duo, I think. Really great. 3 Nuclei. You have to play 3 now. That Rhoda's at 1. It's really good. It helps get your engine going. Like I said, you want to get your engine going before the other person can get theirs going. And then 2 Vega. Like I said, classic ratios for before Demise. Tyler's became a thing. It was really good. I like these ratios a lot, and I won't be changing them unless I decide I want to try the Demise build. That's it for all the Satellarknight monsters we play. I played 4 other monsters, 2 of each. 2 Thunder King Ryo. This card was dirty against some people. Like, I played it against PK Fire a lot, and this card made them sweat really, really bad. And it was really clutch. It won me a couple games. Just the fact that it's so good, and the fact that it's 2 is just great. Sometimes, it's really dirty when you normal summon this. You set 4 back row, and some of them are called Haunted and Oasis, and then 2 Honest. This card wasn't that great for me. In all honesty, I'll probably cut it. It never really. I don't think I ever had a chance to resolve it with all the spot removal people play nowadays. That's it for all the monsters. We play 15 monsters. After that, we only play 4 spells. 1 upstart for help push for consistency. The extra 1,000 ain't a big deal since you're not gonna OTK them or whatever. It was really good. Rigeki's just good for vanities, Crystal Wing, everything. It's still staple in my mind. Reinforcement in the army. It's my favorite spell card in the deck, obviously, because it gets you the other one, Deneb, and it's just really good deck then. And then Soul Charge. I never resolved Soul Charge at all, which sucked, but I didn't need it for the games I did win. That's it for the spells. We play 4 spells, and you'll see why here in a second. Now onto the traps. We play 22 traps. This deck's trap heavy. Play 3 alpha. This is the best trap in the game. I love this card. It's just so good. It's negate anything and draw a card basically. 3 drownings. Like I said, I wanted to play classic tellers from Necros, and you can't play the old Mirror Force because Return of the Dragon Lords is just too good. So putting them back in the deck, and a lot of people, when I flipped it on them Saturday, were like, "That's dirty," and I agreed with them. It was really clutch. I really like this at 3. It's really, really good. The games I did lose, I had this set and they had Twin Twisters or were able to remove it, but I would have won if they didn't get to remove it. 3 Call the Haunted, standard. 3 Fiendish Chain. really good. People say play Fogblade, which I can see. There was a couple times where I kind of wish I had a Fogblade, but it never really. I don't think I lost ever because I had Fiendish Chain and not a Fogblade. It was more just they were able to out advantage me. This is why we only play 4 spells. Triple anti-spell. I know I just said a moment ago I hate floodgates. You have to play this. It's to slow Blue Eyes down and metal and pendulums. Those 2 decks can quickly gain advantage on you before you can, and you just kind of want to slow them down to your level. And it was really good. I opened it on an Infernoid player, and he lost the game because he had 5 spells. Oddly, I opened it up against Blue Eyes, and it didn't slow them down enough as I like. I only played 2 Blue Eyes at the regional, but one, this really came in clutch, and the second one, it just he could play around it out. Then we played 2 Aces, more Call of the Haunted, basically. It was really good. You always want to try to go off on the end of your opponent's turn, get your, like I said, to help get your engine going. And then we played Triple Strike and Solemn Warning. These were really great cards, really clutch as well. It's really good cards. This goes down to 1. It would kind of suck for the way I'm playing this deck, but it's probably justifiable because your opponent just can't play through three strikes and a warning. And then Vanity Emptiness. This card was really clutch as well. But we played 22 traps, 4 spells, and 15 monsters for a total of 41 cards. The extra card was actually worth it in my opinion. I never felt like I had a consistency issue. That's it for the main deck. Now on to the side deck. Double DD Crow. I only resolved it once and it didn't really help me at all. 2 Maxis. I never saw it when I did side it. Ghost Ogre. Never saw it when I did side it. 2 Double Cherry. This was really good in my opinion. You can, maining it would even be a bad idea if you didn't want to try it. In my opinion, you probably want more traps than you do her. Triple MST. I sided it in a lot because I thought I was going to get Royal Decree, where I played a lot of PK Fire, and I didn't want my effects to get negated. One person flipped Light Imprisoning on me, and I was able to chain it, and then still resolve my effects. Double Dark Hole. I didn't side this in at all. I didn't feel like I ever needed it. I don't know what I would put in its place though, but yeah. And then double Rivalry of the Warlords. I sided this in a couple times and I never saw it, so I basically never saw my sides. I finished the event at a total of 4 and 5. I won my first round and lost my second round to a guy who's gotten worlds before, gone clear to the world stage and got top 5. He was playing PK Fire. After that, I went on like a 2 to 3 game winning spree, and then around 5, I lost to another guy who later went on to get second place. But without further ado, extra deck, Triple Triver. I never really needed 3, but I would still play 3. This card is so good. You have spell up, and your opponent sets everything. You make Triver and bounce everything they just sat on the back into their hand, and it is dirty. But this is the best card in the deck, in the extra deck for sure. I made it a couple times, and every time I made it, I won that match. It's a good card. It floats, it takes a card from your hand, and it bounces everything back. It is just a good card. And then double Delteros, good spot removal. Good when he dies, he floats. He gets something out of your deck, so it kind of helps get your engine going as well. One from Stellar Diamond. This card is dirty against PK Fire and any other dark deck. You just detach a material and negate a dark monster's effect. And then neither player can, I think, send cards from deck to grave, which really hurts PK Fire as well. I made this once and it locked the game. It locked my opponent out. He's a really clutch card. No Ptolemy M7. I didn't like him when I played the deck the first time originally, and I felt he wasn't needed. Not just to kind of like staple rig Forge Utopia and the Lightning. I made this. I never made this because usually when you only have 2 cards up, you can't attack because Altair's effect has a stipulation that you can only attack with Satellarknight monsters. This is who I made a lot when I only had 2 monsters. Tsukiyomi. He was really, really, really good. I would probably bump him up to 2. There was a lot of times where I could only get 2 monsters out onto the field, and I would overlay for him and detach. And this, in my opinion, is really good. I call it Card of Demise, but I could still special summon because there were a lot of times I just made this, and then I activated it, and I would discard my hand, and I would draw 2 more traps. So I would have this in defense mode and 5 traps, and basically say, "Come at me, bro." And it was really good. So I think every time I made this, it helped me win the game. Then there was the Castel, Abyss Dweller, self-explanatories. 86 for the Soul Charge. I never made Resolve Soul Charge, so it never mattered. But he's really good for locking down the game. Dagusa Emerald to kind of reshuffle and draw. You want to draw as many cards as possible and cycle through your deck faster, and it's good for reloading stuff. Karagorgon, just for kind of a filler. I didn't have the time to get a Dante for our cherry target, but I made this at a local that we went to afterwards, and it did help me. And then for our 1 cherry target, I made this, and I resolved this once, the cherry once, but it was really clutch because I waited till he had a synchro or a tuner and a blue eyes out, and then I just cherried it, and he was forced to go into Azure Eyes because he didn't want to leave his tuner out to be wide open. Other than that, that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I may try Demise. I don't know. I like the deck as is. It's a fun deck. It's capable of keeping up with the current meta, in my opinion. I was playtesting against our friend Robbie, who got 35th in a Nats invite with Metal Foam Magispectors, and I was keeping up with him for the most part. There was a lot of times I just opened anti-skill, as we call it, and he couldn't play. But that's the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's about it. All right, thank you guys.